G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, and welcome back to another episode of r/Am I the Arsehole? Let's go. Am I the arsehole for hiding from my mum that I've been messaging her birth daughter? Sorry for the weird title, but when my mum was 21, she married some guy in the States who was cheating on her when she was pregnant. She hated him, and hated that she was having his baby, had a traumatic pregnancy, was really depressed, and didn't like being a parent then, so signed away the rights to Alyssa, 25 female, some months after she gave birth. Alyssa was adopted by her father's affair partner and raised by her. My mum moved up north here to Canada, fell in love with my dad, and married him when she was 30. She's had nothing to do with Alyssa besides demanding she never contact her again after she tried to. Last year, my mum finally told me about Alyssa, but made it clear that she didn't see her as her daughter and that Alyssa's mother was her father's wife. She also demanded that we not try to get them into any contact. So that's cool and all, but I was really fascinated by this idea of a sister that I never had. So I secretly started messaging her, and even though she was hesitant at first, we've become good friends, and I really want to meet her. She's also become really successful in her field and works at the University of Toronto, which is where I want to go. Not gonna lie, I really look up to her and I would love to follow in her footsteps, and Toronto is a lot better than the city that we live in. The problem was that I left my phone unlocked yesterday, and my mum freaked when she saw that I was talking to her. She pointed out that she didn't want a reunion, or me talking with her, that we aren't family, and doesn't want my siblings to know before they are my age. I felt really bad because she started crying a lot, like more than I'd ever seen before. My dad told me that it would be okay, but he's the one who dropped me off at school, even though it's always her, and I'm wondering if I was an asshole to hide me messaging Alyssa from her instead of being open about it. Now in the comments, not the asshole. Just say this. Mum, I understand that you have a boundary when it comes to her. I promise you I will respect that boundary. I won't bring her up in any way, and I won't push for a reunion. But please understand that this is someone who I genuinely look up to. I enjoy the friendship that I have with her. I promise she still won't be a part of your life, but please respect my decision. I'm super curious on how you plan to navigate a relationship with your mum and with your half-sister. Because when you get married, how will you invite your half-sister knowing your mother's boundary? Or will you force your mother to accept her presence, or future children? Or is your half-sister okay with the idea of not being invited to life events? I get that it's not your job to help your mother through her very obvious trauma, and your mum does need some help talking about whatever happened. But I just can't help but feel like you'll be in a position one day where you'll have to pick between them. And OP replies, assuming all goes good between me and my sister, yeah, I'd want her there for my wedding and for my kids, and I want to be at her wedding whenever she has it. She doesn't want to see my mom any more than my mom wants to see her. I mean, this is like 10 years in the future, so I don't know what I'd do, but I don't give an F thinking about it right now, so I guess I'd just ask them to avoid each other. So, knowing that your mother wants absolutely nothing to do with this girl, doesn't want any contact, you would willingly put your mother through that? And OP says, I wouldn't make them contact or talk to each other if neither of them want that, and I don't know how to answer questions about stuff that hasn't happened yet or may not even happen. I'm just pointing out very obvious situations where you'll more than likely have to exclude one of them in the future. These are very real scenarios that are going to play out. Your mother has expressed multiple times that she wants this woman nowhere near the family at all. What if she refused to go to your wedding because being around your half-sister feels like a hard line for her? OP replies, obviously I'd feel very bad if that happened, but I'd try my best to avoid it. I don't want to hurt any of them, and I don't want to cut my sister off because mum said no, is just going to hurt her really bad too. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I love my mum, and I know she loves me, and I don't think she'd ever try and make me choose between the two people I love. Soft, you're the asshole. It's difficult for people to understand that their parents are not their property. They are people who have lives outside of parenthood. For some reason, Redditors cannot grasp that giving up a child for adoption is the most selfless act a person can commit. To be clear, not only did you choose to satisfy your curiosity with no consideration for your mother's feelings, you put the adoptee at legal risk. It's a crime in Ontario for an adoptee to have contact with the children of their birth parents without the express consent from the parent. Even worse, you were a minor, so technically she had illegal contact with a minor. The government made sibling contact illegal to protect thousands of women who contacted them threatening to commit suicide if their other children ever found out. Think about that, kiddo. Thousands of women ended up in counseling at the mere suggestion that the adoption law was being rewritten and they might be contacted by their child and their secret revealed. Thousands of women threatened it. Your mom shared the most traumatic event of her life and you made it all about you. Teenagers are selfish. You knew you were wrong, but are too young to know just how badly you messed up. I sincerely hope this doesn't destroy your mum and family. I also hope that if this does destroy your family, you will not let it destroy you, and that you understand that you are too young and naive to understand the consequences of your actions. I am sad for you and your mother. This is a horrid situation. And now onto the update. Hey guys, thought I'd update. First thing, I gave my mum a giant hug like my little sister does and said sorry, and she forgave me. Then I had a big talk with my mum and dad about Alyssa. The first thing my mum asked was if Alyssa wanted to meet her. She seemed sad when I told her that Alyssa threatened to cut me off if I'd ever try to make them meet. Then it got to what I wanted from Alyssa, and I said I just wanted to be her sister to get to know her and be friends in real life, and not just on the phone. I did admit that I wanted to go pursue the field I told them of at U of T cause of her. I could tell my mum was getting a bit mad, but Dad pointed out Alyssa is really successful, a good role model and a good mentor, and to deny me her would only hurt my future, so I had their permission. My mum did bring up the points that you guys did, like, what if I graduate or get married and stuff? I admitted that I didn't know, but I'd find stuff that made it better or find different ways. I guess that hurt my mum, so she said that we'll deal when it happens, but that she can work on her pain for me, and if Alyssa loves me, she will too. I did have to promise not to tell my siblings. I wasn't going to anyway, about Alyssa. Next time I talked to Alyssa, I told her that my mum found out that we were talking and told her the whole mess that happened. She said she was glad that we could keep talking and it meant a lot to her that I want to be her sister. I told her what my mum said about me getting married, and she said they'd find a way, and joked that she could just put on a balaclava mask for all events to avoid being seen. Well, on Christmas, Alyssa FaceTimed and showed me a real pretty ring that her boyfriend got her, and said that she was getting married, and my present was tickets to see her in spring break and an invite to her wedding stuff in the summer. She did say if my mum said that I couldn't go, she'd understand. I talked with mum and dad, and I can go as long as I take my older cousin with me. He's 25 and has known all this for years, and according to Alyssa, I can. She wants me to have a role in her wedding. Hopefully things aren't bad in March and I can go to Toronto. Honestly, since then it's all been great. I talk with Alyssa a lot more, and she's gotten me into a game called Age of Empires. She's helped me with my chemistry homework, mum's been going to therapy about her, and started training me in tennis. And on Friday, I got the invite card to her wedding, and it was written for me as, "To my sweet little sister." I have to hide it from my siblings though. So I guess that's me using my one update to tell you guys that I think it's a happy ending. Now in the comments, I'm glad it worked out for you and Alyssa, your sister who seems like a wonderful person. I hope when your siblings get older, they'll get the chance to build a relationship with Alyssa as well. Hopefully your mum will have a change of heart soon and stop punishing her children for things her ex did. And OP says, I hope so too. I mean, she's honestly one of the best people I've ever met. She sent me the diet plan that she follows, she does CrossFit, when I said I was starting tennis. I guess having a sister means a lot to her. And I don't know if we'll ever be a big happy family, but maybe they can be in the same room one day. Alyssa is truly awesome, and I'm glad you two have one another. Have a good break and have fun at the wedding. Only thing I can say is prepare for backlash from your other siblings that you hid this from them. Yeah, this is my concern. OP hasn't mentioned their ages, but if they are fairly close in age, I can see this all kicking off in the future when they eventually find out. And OP says, no, they are little. One is 8 and the other is 5. I'm not going to hurt my mum again by telling them before she's ready to. You might want to keep that letter and invite that calls you little sister somewhere other than your house. It's amazing the nooks and crannies kids that age can find without meaning to. And OP says, oh yeah, I've locked it away in a secret place. Our next post is titled, Am I the arsehole / AWTA for not letting our stepsister wear family heirlooms? So I, 15 female, have some conflict with my stepfamily. This includes my sister, 15 female, my brother, 15 male, we're triplets, my dad, 42 male, my stepmom, 35 female, and my stepsister, 15 female. Some background. Our mum died when we were 7 because of a heat stroke, and our dad only dated again when we were 9. A year later, he dated stepmom and married her shortly after. Our relationship as triplets to stepmom and stepsister are cordial, but we aren't really close. My siblings and I are really close to our mother's side still, and our dad entirely supports us. Our mother's side has a tradition that started with our great-grandma. It's that for every 16th birthday of a kid on that side, there is a photo shoot of those kids with family heirlooms. For example, jewelry, watches, clothing. It's like a coming-of-age thing. My triplets and I's birthdays are coming up, so our aunt, who is a photographer, is planning to have a photo shoot with us triplets soon since she lives closest to us. We already have our borrowed items picked out, and we love them. I'm wearing my mum's dress from the 90s, and jewelry my grandma owned in the 70s. Basically, we are wearing our family history, but we all look somehow coordinated, so we are very excited. Now, the problem here is that our stepsister, who is a month younger, found out about our tradition when our dad was coordinating with our aunt. At the dinner table, she asked my siblings to be included. When we texted our aunt, she said that she can be a part of the photo shoot, but she cannot wear the family heirlooms. Siblings and I tell her she's welcome to have a photo shoot, but she can't wear the family heirlooms. She asks if she can wear my dress instead, since it's not that old. I told her no, since it's one of the few things that holds sentimental value that I have from my mom. Also, I'm a few sizes smaller than stepsister. I know because she has stretched out a handful of my clothes before. She asks if she really can't wear any family heirlooms. Siblings and I say that she can wear her own family heirlooms, and she says she doesn't have any. But we say we are really sorry, but we can't let her wear our maternal family heirlooms. Stepsister threw a whole fit about excluding her from the family, and stepmom is mad at us for not letting her wear heirlooms. We say that we can't change our maternal side's rules on family heirlooms, and now stepmother is threatening to not let us go to the photo shoot unless she can wear some family heirloom. Siblings and I are agreeing to not let her wear them, but we are starting to feel bad since she has no relationship with her extended family, since they have cut contact from stepmom and she has no family heirlooms. Are we the arseholes? Now in the comments, not the arsehole. Your stepsister is 15, not 5. She is old enough to understand that this is your family tradition, not hers. If it came from your father's side, that would be one thing, but your mother's side is separate and she should respect that. Your father should be supporting you in this and perhaps creating new traditions for your new, blended family to partake in. Jumping on to say that it sounds like stepmom has been alienating OP's maternal family for a while and is probably making stepsister feel like they are rejecting her as part of an extensive campaign. This needs to be something OP's dad backs his kids up on. It sucks for stepsister as she's being excluded, and even at 15 that can sting. But OP literally has zero say in this matter. Not the asshole, but stepmom threatening to not let OP go is. Agreed. That dad needs to step in and help stepsister understand that she is not being excluded. She was never a part of Biomom's family and cannot expect it. In the same token, he should have a serious talk with his wife. She should be trying to make peace with the situation, not making it worse. She really has no say in what you can and cannot do with your maternal side of the family. Encourage stepsis to wear her own mother's stuff. Go to the photo shoot. Have just the triplets shots taken, and have just the 3 girls taken. Have all 4 of you taken, have each kid taken alone, etc., so that you get the triplet shot for your grandma without having stepsister feel badly. That's a nice solution. I suspect the aunt was planning to get just the triplets in some of the photos, and expecting stepsis to throw a fit over that, but all these little groupings would make that shot stand out a lot less. Very diplomatic solution. And now onto the update. Since then, as people who commented suggested, I asked stepsister if she'd rather wear something of her mum's, but she just said no, and that she'd rather wear my dress since she's already seen it. My dad had a discussion with everyone since then and has made it clear that stepsister and stepmom were acting unreasonable, and he has made the decision to not let stepsister go to the photo shoot because she would be imposing. Sibs and I agree that she would be imposing, and that she is grounded for 2 weeks. Right now my Sibs and I are at our aunt's house for a week, and our family heirlooms are here, and in the same condition we received them in. Thankfully, since my siblings and I have caught stepsister and stepmother trying to open them when they were locked, we are just happy the heirlooms are fine. Siblings and I just want to say thanks everyone for their help and advice. We are all just going to celebrate our birthday, and our dad is coming in a few days to celebrate with us here, so there's that. And in the comments, I'm so glad your dad stepped up, and I suggest that if there are things of your mum's you want kept safe, leave them with your aunt until you move out, as my stepmom gave away all of my mum's stuff that we had at my dad's, and tried to throw away all of their wedding photos. I found the bag and snuck them to my mum's house and got grounded by my dad. OP, see if you can leave them at your aunt's when you are finished, just to keep them safe. And OP says, good idea, thanks. That's pretty screwed up, friend. I'm glad they were unsuccessful in accessing your precious items. If I were your dad, I'd be having a long think about my wife's sinister behavior towards my children. Your stepsister is the real villain here. She is the one that's poisoned the well and made your stepsister feel the way she does. Shameful. I'm glad the triplets were able to do the entire photo shoot on their own. It was probably a lot more comfortable to be able to have that family bonding moment without having to worry about getting a picture of just the triplets or trying to tiptoe around including stepsister but not letting her take over. Wow, I'm glad it worked out. That is some serious toxic behavior. I would sit down with your dad and lay out everything they have done, like preventing you from going to friends' parties, etc. Also, and I'm serious here, think safety deposit box for all jewelry and special keepsakes. If you need an adult on it with you, use your dad or aunt. They cannot access it in place of your dad. It would have to be both of you, no substitute. Clothes may be at your aunt's or just securely away. I don't know how close you live to each other, so suggest safety deposit box so that you can get to it when you need something. If your aunt is farther away, that may prove more difficult. And yeah, I guess that's all we have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed these stories. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. I love your faces. I hope you're going to have a good, happy day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. Drink some water, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.